What is IELTS exam? What is the difference between IELTS general or an IELTS academic exam? Well, if you are someone who's planning to go abroad for your study or work purposes, then IELTS might be the first step that you'll be taking towards your journey. Hi everyone, I'm Pia and I'm certified IELTS trainer and I've been teaching IELTS for more than 5 years now. Today I'm going to decode the entire structure of the IELTS exam. So let's begin. I'm going to share my screen and I hope this video will help you in knowing more about the IELTS exam structure. Okay, so here I'm going to start with what is IELTS. Now, the full form of IELTS is International English Language Testing System, and the joint owners of this exam are British Council, IDP IELTS Australia, and Cambridge University. The countries which accept the IELTS scores are like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and USA, and many more. The purpose of taking this exam is like you need to demonstrate your ability to read, speak, listen, and write in English for such kind of English speaking countries. IELTS is graded from a scale of band 1 to band 9, where 1 being the lowest band that you will get, and 9 will be the highest band that you can get in your IELTS exam. Basically, it is a test of your English language proficiency. In IELTS Academic, these will be the 4 modules: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Let's see listening in detail, and I'll just adjust my screen so that you can see it better. Okay, so in listening, there will be a 30-minute audio that will be played, and you will get 10 minutes of transfer time. Now this audio will be divided into 4 parts, and each part contains 10 different questions that makes the total number of questions in listening to 40. There will be 1 mark each for your questions, and there is no negative marking. That means that if you if you have missed a particular answer, and you can still like make a guess, maybe your guess might go correct. All right, now this audio will not be replayed, so the first time it is played, you have to listen to it very attentively to answer the questions that are asked on your paper. All right, now what kind of audios you can expect. Basically, in section 1 and section 2, the audios will be more in the social context, and section 3 and 4, the audios are more in the academic context. That means maybe some students will be talking to each other, or a professor will be giving you a lecture or an academic information or something like that. All right, and these are the question types that you can expect in your listening. There could be form, table, notes, summary, flowchart completions, multiple choice questions, short answer questions, sentence completion questions, diagram labeling, map labeling, classification kind of questions, and matching list of statements. All right, and all these questions are basically objective types. That means you don't need to write sentences in such kind of test. You will just need to write 1, 2, or 3 words, or maybe true, false, or not given. So these will be objective type of questions. All right, now let's look into the speaking test in detail. Now the speaking test in IELTS, it's a one-on-one interview with the with the IELTS examiner. Okay, now this interview, let me just fold the notes for better clarity. All right, now this interview, the length of this particular interview will be around 11 to 14 minutes. It's a one-to-one interview, so, and that takes place on a separate day, on whatever date you have taken for your LRW, that is listening, reading, writing. That happens at a particular day, and the speaking can either happen before or after your LRW. All right, so as I said, it will be 11 to 14 minutes interview, and the interview is with a trained IELTS examiner who will score you on the basis of your fluency and coherence, and there are other criteria that will come at the later part. All right, now there are three parts in for your speaking test. The first part, they will ask you questions related to general and familiar topics. This could go on to around 4 to 5 minutes. They might ask you some introductory questions about you, and after that they will ask you some general questions, maybe flowers or plants or exercise or your reading habits. It could be anything related to you, which easily students are able to answer. All right, now let us come to the cue card. The second phase is they will give you a card, and it will contain a topic with usually it will be supported with the help of some bullet points. And you will get 1 minute to prepare for this topic, and you will have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. You have to give a speech for 1 to 2 minutes on this particular topic. All right, so example could be describe a cafe you often visit. We go to the third phase. The third phase is the follow-up or the discussion phase. Now in this phase, they might ask you some follow-up questions related to the cue card that they might have given you. And these questions will be usually detailed question or some kind of abstract questions, where you might need to answer the questions in more detail as compared to your general questions. All right, there will be discussions, there will be comparing and contrasting of different questions or different information. So there the question types are in detail. All right, so this was all about the third phase of IELTS exam. Your overall performance will be graded on the 4 different criterias. Now I'll make a separate video on that regarding what are the criterias that they judge you on. That is basically known as the band descriptors. All right, so let's I hope the speaking part in IELTS is clear. Now let us try and understand what is the reading module in IELTS exam. Okay, so reading module, you will get a time of 60 minutes to answer the question, and there will be no transfer time as you get in listening test. All right, so within the 60 minutes itself, you will have to read the passage, find out the answers, and even transfer the answers into the OMR sheet. In the academic exam, there will be 3 reading texts, and usually these are in the academic context. All right, and these texts are usually taken from newspapers, magazines, or journals. Okay, and there could be 12 to 14 questions in each of the sections. So the total number of questions in your reading comes to 40 questions. Okay, and usually it is graded from easiest to difficult. That means usually the first passage is easy, the second intermediate, and the third will be a difficult one. Okay, and again, in reading there is no negative marking. That means if you feel that your answer is, if you're not very sure about your answer, you can still write it down, like your guess might be correct sometimes. All right, so there's no negative marking. Next is the question types. Again, as I said, in reading and listening, both the question types are objective types, and let us see what are the different types of questions that you might expect in your reading test. Okay, so these are the different question types: diagram labeling, flowchart completion, summary completion, short answer questions, classification, match the headings, multiple choice, scientist categorization, paragraph identification, matching sentences, true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given. Okay, so this is a variety of questions, and they actually ask different types of questions just to test the different types of skills in that. Okay, all right, so now let us quickly move to the writing section in the academic test. I'll just fold this. Yes. Okay, so the writing section consists of 2 tasks, and you are given 60 minutes to answer both the tasks. Writing task 1, Um, it is usually it is known as report writing, and you will be given maps, diagrams, graphs, or different kind of table. There could be one graph, or it could be a combination of two graphs as well, and you are supposed to write minimum 150 words for that report. Basically, you have to make a report, and the length of the words should be minimum 150. Okay, and as such, you will be getting a 60 minutes total time, but the suggested time for this task is 20 minutes. All right, now here there is negative marking. If you don't write the minimum number of words that are required for this task, there will be negative marking for the same. Okay, so you have to be very careful regarding the word count in IELTS. Okay, now as far as the writing task 2 is concerned, it's usually an essay that you will be getting. In essay, there could be different types. The type of the essay usually is discursive. Suggested time for writing an essay is 40 minutes in your IELTS exam, and the minimum number of words that you need to write is 250 words. Okay. Now, this is very important, that the weightage of marks in writing task 2 is double than that of task 1. All right, that means you, of course, like, you need to give more importance to task 2, because you just can't take 30 minutes for your writing task 1 and just give 30 minutes for your essay writing, because there you are compromising on your essay, and it could result into you writing a few number of less number of words. Okay, so this was all about IELTS writing, and let us quickly move to the differences in the IELTS general exam. Now, if more or less, the modules will of course remain the same: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. However, listening and speaking, they are exactly the same as we discussed in academic test. However, there are some changes in the reading module as well as writing module. So let's see what are the differences. Now here in reading, comparatively, the reading texts are a little bit easier as compared to the academic level. There will be 3 sections in the reading test, and section 1 usually has 2 or more short texts. So in academic, there will be 1 passage in section 1, whereas in IELTS general test, there could be 2 or more short texts. So it is easy for a student to comprehend them. All right, section 2 consists of 2 texts related to workplace, and section 3, it's 1 long text. Now let us see, the number of questions will be 40, which is the same, and the types of questions will be exactly similar to what you'll be getting in your IELTS academic that we discussed before. Okay, and we have discussed about the difficulty level. All right, let us look into writing. Now, writing in IELTS general, if you look at writing task 1, again, the suggested time is 20 minutes, and you will have to write 150 words for the same. But here in IELTS general, you have to write a letter in response to a situation. Okay, so in IELTS academic, you have to write report, you have to do report writing, whereas in IELTS general, you will have to write a letter. Okay, and the letter could be formal, informal, or semi-formal depending upon the situation. Okay, and writing task 2, there will be an essay which is more or less similar to your IELTS academic. The question types will be similar. Okay, and again, you have to write 250 words for the same. In both the cases, if you don't write the minimum number of words, you might get negative marking for the same. Okay, all right, so I hope the structure of all the IELTS exam, like both academic as well as general, is clear. And if you still have further questions relating to your IELTS exam, I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you're really struggling with your IELTS scores, then you can join my VIP Facebook group, and I usually share a lot of content related to IELTS and English in general in that group, and you can even ask any query that you have. All right, so this is me, Pia, signing off for today. I hope this was useful. Please like it, share it, so that other people can also benefit from this video. Thank you so much.